Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Nathan Watches Films, but this time I'm not watching a crappy film from the 70s, I'm watching a crappy film from the modern era. Simply because for college, I'm finally on media after a year, when I should have been on it a year ago, but you know, they try to make my life difficult, but nah, I won't let them, you guys know me by now. Basically we have to write a... bit of dust on the... We have to basically we have to write a film review, and I have decided I don't really want to write a review on all the films I like because that can ruin them a little bit. So instead I'm writing a negative film review, and to write a negative film review I obviously have to watch a bad film, and I haven't seen that many bad films. So I thought, what better film to watch than the worst film I've ever heard of but have not seen yet? Suicide Squad. I'm not excited for this. Even knowing that I'm about to start watching it, I'm already aching a little bit, so I imagine by the end, I'll probably be writhing in pain. So, as a sort of a safety thing to make sure I don't die, I've prescribed myself a dose of Eraserhead, which I'm going to watch immediately afterwards, so that I can live, right? But this Eraserhead is an hour and 28 minutes. No, not an hour. Yeah, an hour and 28 minutes. Suicide Squad is 2 hours and 3 minutes. So this, I don't know if it'll exactly balance it out, but hopefully it'll at least do something to stop me from just sort of dying. So that's really all I can say. I'm going to set an alarm. I'm going to take a break every 30 minutes for several reasons. Firstly, because hopefully then I will another safety thing, and also this camera can record for more than that, obviously, but I still want to break up a little bit so that I can have a break. So I'm just going to start this timer for half an hour, and then 2 hours and 14 minutes. I can't wait for the really amazing cinematography and acting and directing and lighting and camera angles and stuff we're going to have in here. I'm sure there's going to be a load of great artistic choices made. I have to be sarcastic throughout watching it, otherwise I won't make it. Of course, they start out... What better way to start out a modern film than by ruining a great song from the past? I mean, they have to, don't they? They can't... Like, you can't make a modern film without ruining a great song. It's the same with anime. They're exactly the same thing. Animes and modern films just have to ruin great songs.
But I finally have them.
Also, really interesting composition here. I've never seen the rule of thirds used before. That's really, really creative. That is. Look, I'm literally bored. I'm not even figuratively bored anymore. I'm literally bored. For the first, 15 minutes I've been watching this, I was,
And then there's the Aussie.
So Batman is a sex offender. That's good. Let's have one of the heroes of our comics be a sex offender. That seems like a sensible idea. That, doesn't it? And now they're ruining AC/DC as well. And now they're ruining Creedence Clearwater Revival. Stop doing the la 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 la. I'm not listening. I am not listening. I am not listening. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
She opened something she shouldn't have.
What kind of archaeologist is that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did that archaeologist just break a piece of ancient... How is she allowed out? I mean, that's... I have a... My job is to preserve history. What should I do? Let's break history into little bits. Let's carry on watching. I'm enjoying it so far.
Releasing a metahuman more powerful than any...
This woman honestly looks so stupid. Really unique editing here, which I've never seen in any other film. Really interesting cinematography, which I've never seen. Again, the rule of thirds. This is like the only film to have used that. I'm sorry, but what is the point of a film which doesn't do anything new? What's the point? There's no point. This film doesn't need to exist. It doesn't do anything. Everything that this film has done has already been done.
What's for dinner? Ames, if this man shoots me, I want you to kill him. And I want you to go clear my browser history.
That's such a creative joke. I've never heard that in a film. Isn't it weird how these films always, whenever there's a serious scene going on, they always have to have a little joke there, don't they? They always have to have a little joke. Have a little joke there. It's not like we're trying to build up suspense or anything like that. Let's just ruin it with a joke. Not as if there was much to ruin to begin with. This isn't entertaining. This is just showing him shooting things for like 5 minutes.
Amanda, she bolted.
Say it again?
She bolted!
Shit.
She what? See what happened? What happened there? So she's stabbing the heart, right? And then this guy holds his hand out. A big puff of magic happens, and all of a sudden, her stabbing the heart doesn't affect her anymore. What was the point of that plot point being there then? If you don't set up a plot point for it to then just be, you don't say, oh, this is the only way to kill this person, and then later in the film, as that's about to be done, you make it so that isn't the case without explaining it. That's not what you do. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's not what you do in a film. That's not what you do in any medium. You don't do that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I know the audience who actually enjoy these films, they're not going to be thinking about that. They're going to be looking, oh, it's CGI and Will Smith. Oh my god, no, Twitter and Instagram already. And then their brains melts out because of the... I mean, not that there was much left in there anyway. Or any in there to begin with, in fact. But... why? Let's carry on watching. Again, completely unexplained CGI magic with no explanation. Like, we don't know why this is happening. So again, there's no point to this. I know there's probably people going to say, oh, you have to have read the comics to understand what's going on. But the point of these films is the literal point of them is to introduce the story to people who haven't seen the comics. That's the entire point. That's the reason they make the films. But if you can't understand what's going on because you haven't read the comics, then the film is literally pointless. It's ridiculous.
Injection you got. It's a nanite explosive. It's the size of a rice grain, but it's powerful as a hand grenade. You disobey me, you die.
Okay, so let's see what they do with this plot point they've set up. So all of the bad guys now have a chip which will kill them if they disobey. Let's see if that plot point isn't ignored. Let's see if later in the film that actually happens. Because let me place a little prediction. I predict that what will actually happen will be what happened just a minute ago when they say this person has a weakness and then they actually just completely override it with some stupid magic didgeridoo. I'm sure that won't happen though. I'm sure they'll actually have this plot point continue into the rest of the film. They won't just say it now and then completely ignore it. Let's carry on watching the film.
I'm known to be quite vexing. I'm just forewarning you.
Lady, shut up! This is Katana. She's got my back. She can cut all you in half with one sword stroke, just like mowing the lawn. I would advise not getting killed by her.
That's a creative name for someone who fights with a katana. Katana. Next they're going to introduce the guitar player in the film, who's going to be called Guitar. And then they're going to introduce the farmer, who is going to be called Farmer. And then they're going to introduce the Pokemon whose name is Pikachu, who's continuously says Pikachu all over and over and over again. And then they're going to introduce someone who's dead, and his name is going to be Dead. Then they're going to introduce someone called Headphones, who's always going to be wearing headphones, and that's going to be their only characteristic. Let's carry on watching.
The sword traps the souls of its victims.
Pass through you, continue north.
I know I probably don't have to mention it to you people, but have you noticed how stupid comic book characters look when they're put into a real life situation like this? There are people wearing real military uniforms around them, and then there are just people wearing stupid masks and stupid costumes which were clearly designed to be shown on like a pop art inspired page of a comic book, but they're placed into a realistic environment like this and it just looks idiotic. I mean, look at her. That looks stupid. And he does as well. No offence, Will. You have a nice beard, but everything else is idiotic. Is there anyone who actually finds this crap entertaining? Because it's not. It's not entertaining, it's not exciting, it's not anything. It's people standing around, shooting at things, and nothing else. There's nothing else going on here. There's no real there's no artistic achievements being made in this film. There's no technological advancements being displayed. There's no reason for this film to have been made. I know I've already said this, but I cannot stress it enough. This film does not need to exist. So why does it?
Why?
Because I'm bored.
This is the first time I've been able to relate to this character. OMG.
She's a rabbit hole.
I imagine everyone in the cinema at that point started cheering. It's like, finally, I can relate to someone in this film. I'm bored as well.
Come on, let's go.
Again, I assume that was an attempt at humour. I can only assume that, based on the pause and the silent reaction shot. That would imply that was an attempt at humour. Obviously a failed one, because it's not funny, but...
Cards is on the table, man.
It got done, didn't it?
Is there a particular reason she did that? Mummy, Daddy, I'd like to work for the FBI when I grow up. Okay, we'll make sure, we'll get you a good education. You're gonna have a great life. Dead in a year. Ridiculous. Okay, kill her, and then you're free.
Let's go home. Yeah, let's go home.
You realise all any of them have to do is pull out the gun, shoot her in the head, shoot the guy in the head, and they're completely free. That's all you have to do.
We kill the pair of them now before they kill us.
Yeah, exactly.
I got this.
Oh, 3 of them, sorry. Not 2 of them, 3 of them. Simple as
Made
that.
it this far. Don't get high-spirited on me and ruin a good thing.
If they kill her, she can't press the damn button. These people are idiotic.
I like her.
Yes, I like the person who implanted a grenade into my neck. What a nice person they are. Idiot.
Our nanites disarmed!
You see, there we are. See, what did I say would happen? What did I say would happen? I said they'd set it up, and then when the second they were gonna use it, it would magically be disarmed and nothing would happen. What did I say? I said that, and now it's happened. I could write this film. That's how crap it is. I like how all films have this moment, have this sort of sad moment, even though it's not sad, it's cringy as hell. I love it how films have. I hate it at the same time, but I love it how they feel like they're being original, even though they're literally doing what every other film does. The rest of the film. Why does she even need it? She's alive after it's been stabbed. I love how there's no explanation. I love it. It's great how there's no explanation. It's okay to have no explanation if you're doing like something actually surrealist, like Eraserhead, which is what I'm about to watch after I've finished this as a cure, right? But this isn't proper, this isn't surrealism, this is just being lazy and not explaining yourself. And I hate that as well, what just happened there. Oh look, get excited, it's about to be the climax of the film! And then it just cuts away to a scene which no one gives a crap about. I love it when that happens. Definitely not lazy. Yeah, we saw this bit. Thanks. What does any of that? I don't know what happened there. Can anybody watching this please explain? I don't care, but I want to know if you were actually able to understand what just happened. So they had a flashback to a scene earlier in the film, and apparently that explains something. It doesn't explain anything. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make sense. Nothing happened. Nothing has happened for this entire film. It is a 2-hour and 14-minute film of nothing happening. Why would someone make that? And why have they made it 100 times? Because this isn't the only one of this film. There's like there's literally thousands of this film. And I'm not watching any of the others. The only other ones I've seen of this film are the newer Star Wars films, which I saw in the cinema. I only went there for the popcorn, I didn't go for the actual film. But they are this film, and this film is them. It's the same film.
To succeed, you know that, right? We're all chosen to fail.
I hate this shallow depth of field crap.
For the whole thing.
It's one of my least favourite things about modern cinematography. The rule of thirds and really shallow depth of field, I hate it. Honestly. My favourite things about cinematography is like central framing and a really deep depth of field, deep focus, and this modern cinema just doesn't have it, and I hate it.
We think that thing's a weapon. Here, lower.
But you only have one camera boomerang? Wait a minute, I just realised, if he threw a boomerang, it'd be spinning. So how would he get that really static image? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Do you notice how now the villain who has had perfect aim for the entire film is now all of a sudden crap? How many films have I seen that happen in? Probably 1,000 million? The obvious classic example is the Stormtroopers in Star Wars. Great at aiming when they're not aiming towards Luke, basically. How stupid are these people? They really think that just some bits of metal and a baseball bat is gonna kill, and a few flames are gonna kill this literal god like this.
Ahora sí, cabrón.
See, again, this isn't out of nowhere. See, it's the exact same thing that's happened twice before in this film already. There's one thing that's happening, the characters get put in danger, and then they just bring something out of nowhere, which is make all of a sudden, this guy's one of the Egyptian god things as well. We didn't set that up early in the film, but it doesn't matter, the target audience are too stupid to realise, or even notice, or even care. Let's just make one of the guys who hasn't been a god for the entire film, just make him into a god. I mean, I don't see a problem. We've written ourselves into a corner here, so we might several times, so we might as well do the thing which we always do, which is just bring something out of nowhere, which doesn't make any sense. Let's carry on watching. There's no logic behind any of the actions taking place in this film. And now this god, this literal god, who's been alive for thousands of years, maybe even millions, is all of a sudden just being defeated by one guy who wasn't a god for an entire film and now all of a sudden is. This is so boring. This is so boring. What? Why are the lights going off around the world if they blow up a satellite? How stupid are the people making... Did the people making this film seriously believe that all the street lights are controlled by satellites? Do they really believe that? Do they really believe that things which have been on the surface of the Earth, we've had for hundreds of years, are controlled by things which we've only had for like 60 years, flying around in space? Do they really think that? Do they really think that street lamps are controlled by things we have flying around the Earth? Do they really think that? Or have they just put that in the film? I mean, I imagine they've just done that because they know that the people who are actually watching the film, or at least the people who are actually paying attention to the film, the idiots who like this crap, probably won't even notice. They probably don't even notice that anything's around. They're like, oh, of course the street lights are controlled by satellites flying. It makes logical sense, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. I forgot about this woman as well. Forgot about the person.
There's just one teeny problem. You mess with my friends.
Again, see, a god, a literal god, being killed by just some woman, just a human woman. She's not an alien or anything. At least as far as I know, she's just a human, right? She's literally just a human being who is able to just kill a god. Because the film needs her, the plot needs her to kill a god, so even though she's just a human being and nothing else, she can just kill a god, because, you know, obviously she can just kill a god. Like, what, why? Again, this slow motion isn't suspenseful, it's just wasting time. Get on with it. Slow motion is only suspenseful if it's Die Hard. This is not Die Hard. So, yeah, that was that. I would let the credits finish, but, but still got 10 minutes of credits, so that's not happening. So, obviously this was cut down for YouTube, But if you guys want to see the full reaction, I'm going to try and get it up on either Dailymotion or Vimeo, so that obviously multiple parts, so that'll either be in the description or it won't. Although you probably would have checked at the beginning to see if there was a full reaction. I always do that whenever I see someone's uploaded, I see if there's a full reaction in the description. I'll keep all the interesting bits in, obviously I'll keep all the bits of me making my major complaints. I'll obviously have to cut out a lot of the minor complaints, but all the major complaints I'll try to keep in. I hope you guys have enjoyed me, obviously, you won't have enjoyed the film, I hope. If you enjoy this film, you should not be watching my channel, because I don't want you here. But you hopefully have enjoyed my complaining about the film. I'm genuinely not as in pain as I thought I would be. I think it's because it's not necessarily bad from a sort of painfully boring standpoint. It's sort of bad from a it's the most meh. It's the most meh film ever. It is very boring and it is very bad and it is very uncreative and lazy. But it doesn't really commit any major crimes. It's just dull, like just very, very, very dull. I really don't like. I don't get it. Obviously, I don't really understand how anyone could get it. But yeah, this was crap. So I hope you guys have enjoyed me talking about this film. And if you have, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't and you like this garbage, leave and never come back to my channel, please. See you guys in the next thing I do. Bye.